Carry on. That's showing correct. Hey Arthur. Hey Nya Juanita. Thanks for joining. We're off to do some practicing. Apologies. Better. Oh, 7 C 4 4s 8. I guess that's how I would say it. I don't know if how you personally say it, and if you want to correct me, by all means. Apologies if I mispronounce your name. So today we're taking the TitanKiller version 2.0b in its bomber configuration with a minor adjustment. As a personal preference, I've put a beam laser on this build instead of the additional torpedo, for reasons that will become evident once we get there. And there's no specific mission. It's more like let's take the spin out for solo practice and see how it does in bombing runs in Titan space. Now, the one thing I would like to do is I would like to manage to take on all 8 vents all by myself. I don't know if that's something I will manage to do. It's actually pretty tricky. I think it's possible, but I haven't quite managed to do it yet. So until I or someone does in the ship, then it remains in the realm of the possible, but not done. And yes, Leigong is the Titan where at least our forces are converging. By the way, as a reminder, I need to get a scan and actually turn this ship back in alive for once, so that I actually get a chance to see Titan Leigong right when I drop in, and I don't have to do this every time. In the meanwhile, we've done it this old way. Yes, Leigong is the next Titan. There was a bit of a debate between Oya and Leigong, primarily due to the fact that Oya has, yes, more systems, but it has 2 active spires. Whereas Leigong has fewer systems, but it has no active spires. So, depending on how necessary it will be to recapture systems to succeed in this operation, it may turn out to be easier or harder. There is an alert system that is likely going to be going back to occupied as of the Thursday tick, which includes a spire site for Leigong, but the recapture by Vargoids of systems that have spires have been inconsistent as far as the re-enablement of spires is concerned. So, and yes, it's definitely time to move your carrier. If you haven't already, by the way, most of the best carrier spots around Leigong are already taken, but your mileage may vary. Are there certain things you can do that are more efficient to gain percentage on invasion or alert systems? So that's a good question. So first of all, the sad answer to that is that combat does very little. So there's only so much you can do in terms of combat. One of the things that does the most in alert system is taking down fortresses in non-human signal sources of threat level 4. Those are worth quite a bit. The reality is they're more experienced people as far as the war at large that could answer that question better than I personally can. I do know that using Fargoid tissue samples, primarily the ones taken by unwilling scouts, is the main way that people use to progress occupied systems. Personally, I find it excruciatingly boring. Also, because in order for it to work reliably, you need to lock your frames per second at 30, as if you're running at high frames per second for whatever reason, that results in your limpets all dying. So I personally could not have managed to get myself into sampling massive amounts of scouts over and over and over again at 30 frames per second. But some people, thankfully for humanity, have managed to do that, and that's how we recaptured some of the hardest systems in the history of the game thus far. I do hope that they make combat more effective over the next few weeks, as personally I find that a far more entertaining way to make progress in the war. You can also, and here actually I don't remember the specifics and details, I do believe that turning in pods from the Titan, that you rescue from the Titan, at a rescue megaship, does increase war progression, but not by very much, or at least historically it did not do so by very much. So again, your marriage may vary there. This is one of the annoying things of Leigong compared to Taranis, is that it is 3000 light seconds from the drop point, which means interdictions and interdictions and interdictions. Yes, exactly. It is a pain to reach the Titan in the system. And this is nothing compared to the Titan that is the furthest away, which is 40,000 light seconds away. And that one we will leave for last almost certainly, as I can't imagine going all that way without some kind of protection from Fargoid interdictions. It would take just forever. Farming materials to nuke the Titan. I mean, the good thing about these belts is that they're relatively materials and engineering insensitive, as in the weapons aren't non-engineered, you buy them for credits. What you really do want to engineer is your thrusters, your power plant, and your power distributor. If you can get those to G5 or as close to G5 as possible, then you're going to have a very good build. Everything else is, and by the way, a thermal vent beam laser. But that you can do a G1 long range and put the thermal vent experiment on a G1 long range, and it's kind of pretty good to begin with. Like, sure, it'll have a much smaller range, but you're not that far from the Titan most of the time, so it's not going to be a game changer. Yeah, so on our website, on the Xenostrike Force website, Commander Rykar actually wrote a pretty good guide about doing rescues. It's under, I think, combat guides or rescue guides. I just look around our website. I'll type it in the chat here, and you will see that that is a really well-written guide. If you're interested while you're there, read also the Maelstrom combat guide, because there's a lot of useful information there. Even if it's not specifically related to rescues, it's just generally good things to know overall as far as Titan space is concerned. Titan Bomber Crate is what I'm flying right now, like just with a variation of flying a thermal vent beam instead of a fourth missile, so with less DPS but with a bit more utility. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if you're in a ring and you're trying to just do damage, it's a toss-up, right? I mean, the beam allows you to stay cold and you use fewer sinks, but the missiles do more damage. So if you're in a situation where more damage is desirable, that's probably better. Even in a situation where there's plenty of damage, then you probably can fit the beam and get away with it, and that's probably best in that kind of situation. Man, well, at least you don't have glaives anymore. The good thing about this one is it can outrun glaives too. So, you just have to hit sign running the moment you drop, and then you get away also from glaives, but that's a non-issue anyway. Also, not having a shield means that sign running doesn't drop your shields, which is nice. But again, we don't even need sign running to outrun interceptors. This build is faster than even the fastest interceptors. It boosts to 541 with 20 tons in its cargo hold, as you can see here, and a Basilisk top speed is 530. So we'll get away even from Basilisks eventually. Now, as a reminder for those who have not done this before, when you enter the Maelstrom and you drop clean like this, it'll place you right in the middle of the caustic zone. Like, you'll want to sort of deploy your hard points manually, because you'll need to have hard points deployed to fire your caustic sinks. So they'll come in handy later. At this point, you generally, as a rule, you want to turn off your modules that you're not going to need. So your AFMU is off, cargo hatch, and frameshift drive. You turn those off because those consume power and generate heat. And since you're not going to need your frameshift drive or cargo hatch, and if you're not damage and repairing, you're not going to need your FMU, which actually takes quite a bit of power, you turn those off to stay colder. With those off, as you'll see on military power, the ship will go down to about 17-18% heat, which means that pretty much nothing can lock you unless you're very, very, very close. The distance to lock the crate, the minimum distance to lock the crate, which applies also in silent running, is 504 meters. So long as you're 500 meters, 504 meters, or further away from hostiles, nothing can heat lock you. Now, one thing you'll see is I'm going in military power. Like, I generally have a pretty good feeling for navigating the Maelstrom, so I feel I could probably boost in if I wanted. But I wanted to show you how I could go in on military thrust and still kind of like make pretty good time and use a relatively small number of caustic sinks while staying cold, which makes me it makes it very easy to avoid the mines, which otherwise might blow and do quite a bit of damage. And furthermore, if you are running this cold, when you go through the pulse, which is what about here, note I put my pips to sys while I do this, so my pulse neutralizer lasts longer. Note that your heat does spike, but it does not go above 100. So, and now you can boost again. So I don't need to waste heat sinks on my way in. If I was to boost instead, and if I was boosting, my heat would be higher and the pulse would spike my heat well above 100, which means that I would have to use a heat sink if I didn't want to take heat damage on the way in. So that's a little trick on how to get into the Maelstrom a little bit more efficiently, which is, I don't know, handy. I find it handy. If you're spectating, I recommend turning everything off when you're hitting the belt. Yeah, for sure, it's a good idea. Again, I'm boosting here to get out of the caustic zone and minimize the caustic sinks I'm using as soon as possible. But when I get to the asteroid belt, I'm gonna again stop boosting and go back to what we call military power. Military power is the full thrust of your ship, but without using boost. That's because boosting generates quite a bit of heat and raises your signature a lot, and again, makes you a target that you don't want to be on your way into the approach. Now, the vent's already opening, but I'm not in a position to go on a bombing run right now. The Titan is in green state, as you can notice from the green veins on the underside of the Titan. I see an escort, but it's pretty high and it's kind of on the way out, so I think I should be able to avoid it. Yes, I avoided that escort. So what I'm doing now is I'm heading to one of the so-called safe spots, which, oh wow, now it's launching scouts. That's the port that launches scouts. Note I am not using my beam on the Titan. I don't need to go colder than I currently am, but the scouts did detect me on the way in, and so now everything is firing at me. So now I will use my beam to go colder and reduce my signature further. And it's also a perfect example where, like, when you want to go to a safe spot. This is where the safe spot is. There's 8 of these, sort of like branches, if you will, that you can get under, ideally more slowly than I've done here, so you don't actually hit them. But the good thing is we got plenty of repair limpets, so we'll just pop one of these on as soon as we can unstick ourselves from the predicament where we got ourselves in, and we wait until the events come out. One of the other good things about staying in the safe spot is you have a very good view of the vents themselves. Okay, I'm going to drop my caustic sinks because they're almost full, and it's like one of the things I don't want to worry about. Now that we are fully repaired, full of sinks, and we're all on a good position, what I want to do is I want to go on a bombing run, and I want to see if I can actually get all of the vents. So I'm going to get out of my little hiding spot, try not to bonk. Well, I just bonked the Titan, as I said. Bonking the Titan, ramming the Titan, actually makes it go to red alert, which is annoying, which means it's going to take longer for it to go back to its green state and peaceful state, if you will. Not that it makes a huge difference while I'm solo, but it's just one of the things I thought I would mention. So in my bombing run, I go 042 in terms of pips. But again, this is not a position I want to be in. I want to start at the intersection of these two vents so that I'm in a position to bomb them just by turning around and then start boosting. There we go. I pop a sink. Now I boost. I go up here. I should be right on the second. 2. And now I'm going to start going through these gullies up here. Well, kind of like actually going and staying down here. Now, this was a bad maneuver. Ouch! There we go. That was bad. I thought I was in flight assist up, but it clearly wasn't. And now I'm completely disoriented, and this bombing round is going to go nowhere. I'm also way too hot, so the turrets have blocked me and are firing at me. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to continue my little bombing experiment here. Again, it takes a bit of practice. I can reliably get 7 when I don't screw up like I just did right now. In this case, I'm clearly not going to get 7. I think I got maybe 4. I don't know. Something like that. Or 5. Someone kept count. Now I can use my beam to coal off again and switch to torpedoes. The pineapple is going to show up. And as soon as I see the thing pop out, I can fire my missiles. By the time they get there, it'll be up and I'll start damaging it. These missiles do 0.4% hull damage each, so 3 of them does 1.2% damage overall. Now, because I didn't get all the vents, the core is going to stay up for a relatively small amount of time. So, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty my clip, just because I'm doing some experiments to see like how much damage I can actually do in one round. I don't want to deal with reloading my missile clip. This is not something you would normally do. I'm just doing it for the sake of my little experiments here. Now, we're having a Taurus. Like, if I had done a clean run and I was not heat detected, I would be in a position where I could basically just literally chill out here. But last time I was here, I actually used this time to pull up my, oops, not my power play display. I pulled up my carrier and I jumped my carrier around while I'm at it. Because again, the ship is super cold and it's not gonna, nothing bad is gonna happen to you while you're here. Now that the Taurus is done and I'm repairing and life is good and my modules are all in perfect shape because most of the damage I've taken from just silly me ramming into a Titan itself. I can just go down here. Note I'm also not using my beam because what I wanted to do at this point is I wanted to go back in green state. And so long as nothing is locked on me, which I'm not sure is the case, well, now everything is locked on me again. So never mind. So it's not going to go to green state anytime soon because now that I have a Titan, I have a interceptor control also locked on me. So what I'm going to do now is I get myself cold, which I've done, put another repair limpet on me, which I've done, and get myself to a safe spot and see if we can get the Titan to calm down. I'm also not in a position to bomb at this point, or I could be, but again, I don't want to be sort of like trying to do too many complicated things at the same time. Again, I'm coming in too fast and I'm probably gonna hit the wall. There I am. Oh, all right, the vents are about to open. You can hear it from the sounds. I'm just gonna position myself here. I'm gonna see I'll have a look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. And if you have questions while we get myself repaired, and ideally get... I'm actually stuck here somehow. Why am I stuck? Alright, there we go. Now we are unstuck. It's still repairing. I might get another repair limpet after it. I'm not gonna bomb it at this point. By the way, if you can see an Orpheus up there. I can tell it's an Orpheus by the fact that it's very slow and it has a green caustic trail. It's the only interceptor that has that. So that's how I can tell. A friend of yours made a beluga as an anti-Titan ship. Peak use for a beluga. No, I disagree. The peak use of a beluga is to make it all B-rated, all sturdy, and basically every experimental you can put to make it as heavy as humanly possible. That will make it the heaviest ship in the game. Then you should take it, you should just boost straight into a Hydra and see how far you can toss the Titan, toss the Hydra away. That's a peak use of a beluga in my personal book. How much do you need to damage the Titan to get one of the skins? I think this idea. That's a question for the development, not for me. I wish I could give you an answer, but I'm sorry I can't. Alright, think by the way now, this sound is the Titan going back to orange alert or something. Let's see. There's fish here. Also maw caves and core side caves. Yeah, there's other spots you can hide. This just happens to be the most popular. Night vision can help. I personally find it confusing. Some people love it. Your mileage may vary. If you want to use night vision, use it. Why not? I usually turn my ship lights on. In this case, I didn't, just because I kindly forgot. Let's see if there are other questions. The job today, for those asking, is to test this ship configuration. By the way, someone hit me with someone shooting at me or something. The job today is just to go on a test run to see if I can get all the vents, all the heat vents all by myself, which I may or may not be able to do. I also wanted to see if a Titan went back to green alert, but it's not going to green alert so long as a scout has targeted me, or one of the escorts has targeted me. It looks like there's also an interceptor right above my head. The vents are opening, but now it's not a good time to go. See if I'm right about that interceptor hovering over my nose. Yeah, the interceptor still has somehow caught my smell somehow there. Repair limpet successful, so we're fully repaired. So what I'll probably do is go for a repositioning run right now. So it's also kind of intercept also moves, so now actually hitting me. I got myself some hold again and see if I can do some evasing maneuvering. Because again, while you're locked by a patrol, everything can shoot at you, or most everything can shoot at you. So you don't want to stay locked by a patrol. I'm gonna do some evasive maneuvering, see if I can kind of navigate myself down below the Titan core and through the sort of underside. That should be able to lose the patrol that was on my tail, I think. Again, you can boost and stay cold so long as you have the thermal vent beam on the Titan, which if you're solo, you generally don't want to do for reasons I explained earlier, because it's better off to not poke it and let it go back to green alert and let it recall its patrols. It's just higher quality of life than keeping your beam on it, staying cold, but constantly having patrols. Alright, now the vents are coming back online. I'm not in a really great position here. Do I have heat sinks? I have heat sinks, yeah. Let's see. One thing I did want to do is I wanted to map my heatsink to my torpedo pylon here, so that I don't need to worry about it while I'm kind of getting ready to bomb. To do that though, I need to back up quite a bit here, because I'm not in the spot I wanted to be to start this off. I'm backing off now. Alright. Now let's see if we got this. Boost, boost, boost. 1, 2. Now I want to get myself up this gully here. And see how many I get. So far it's good. Good start of the run. Oh no! I kind of ruined it by flying too low over there. And here I kind of ended up wide because I was completely thrown off by that bounce I did on the hull of the Titan. Still, this is going to be a good run. I think I'm going to get 6 or maybe 7. Now I'm out of heatsink, so I'm actually going to start using my thermal vent beam to pull off, which is something I ideally wouldn't want to do. I don't know if this was... Yeah, that was number 7. So I hit 7 out of 8. If I didn't make that mistake, I could have gone close to getting 8. Let's see if the next time around I manage to get 8. Still, 7 solo. It's gonna make for a relatively long exertion time. Let's see what percentage I can get now that I have full ammo. '94, '92. '82. About 80, about 20%. Again, I wasn't super fast on target. I was thrown off by that mistake I made on the previous run. I also forgot that it was going to do a Taurus, which it does all the time, so it's kind of silly to forget. But I think I am fast enough. I have enough velocity that's going to get me back outside of the dangerous area and avoid taking damage. Yep, I'm clear. Well, I was almost clear. I kind of drifted out of a danger area, so it kind of worked. It did disable my thrusters, and what the hell did it do? Disable a bunch of things, actually. It could disable my whole ship. Wow. I think it made my power plant malfunction. I cannot really explain how it did that otherwise. That would be a first. Alright, I'm gonna go cold, and now that it's in red alert already, I'm gonna empty my clip for the reasons I explained earlier. It's going to orange alert, even though I'm kind of missing it, which is kind of super weird. But Titan AI remains a bit of a mystery in many cases. Alright, now we're gonna synthesize heat sinks, so that we have them for our next bombing run. Anyway, this gives you an idea of just how effective this build is. I mean, even solo, you can do 20-25% damage to the thermal core just by yourself, which is quite a bit. So we charge assist the capacity for our heatsink. We have an escort, which has our tail, I think. So I think we're gonna keep moving. Put forklifts to eng. We're still repairing. Modules are in great shape. Switch to torpedoes. It's early days though. I think vents might be coming open now. I want to be just far enough that I can hit it and then turn around. Tell me I'm not too far. I'll go fly assist on. Drifting to something kind of weird. There you go. Alright, one down. Two down. Good boost for that third one. Three down. Number 4. Good angle so far. I think this is number 5. Good angle, good angle. Oh gosh, this is heavy. 6. Let's see if I can go up here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No! Dang. Oh, I made a mistake there. Oh. I don't know if that was 7 out of 7, solid 7 out of 8, but it was a good attempt. Alright, let's cool off. We got full missile racks. The pineapple is coming out. Missiles away. Actually, your beam can shoot down missiles, like what just happened here. So unless you're kind of like needing to stay cold, you're just gonna be a bit careful about using your missile, not your beam, to not shoot down your own missiles, which is kind of lame. Which is what I just did. So now I started shooting earlier, and I did a bit more damage. 25, about 25. Alright, now I remember it's gonna Taurus, so I'm gonna position myself better than I did last time. I'm also gonna fire this last thing and synthesize my heat sinks, which by the way is a dirt cheap synthesis. Alright. I think if you manage to get all 8, you should be able to do about 30% core damage just by yourself in a single ship each pass. And the good thing about, like, well, the good thing about doing this in a wing is that it's a lot more fun, and if you have a good wing, it's a lot more effective too. The good thing about doing it solo is that it never gets bugged, because the bugs have to do with how the whole thing interacts with an echo. So at least you don't get a missile that is bugged. Fish is saying that he got 5,000 arcs from the experience. I got 8,000 arcs from the experience of Tyrannus. I have no idea why. Like, even the arcs giving is bugged, as you can tell from just how many arcs are given away. Alright. I think we got heat sinks. We're again top side. We are again relatively cold. We're not in a good spot to start. Now we are. See, that sound is a sound of Titan going down and its alert level. Or up, down, something. Ah, no, that was the sound of the opposite. The sound of the Titan going up in its alert level. So I see that flashing red thing. It's a scout, but it's a scout that locked onto me. When Escuds lock onto you, that basically feed targeting information to the Titan turrets as well. So you can be hit even if you're otherwise cold. Vents are coming open. I don't know if I want to try and go for this. See if I can get myself to a decent position before I get going. I think I am in a decent position. If I can lock onto this when it opens, then I will go for it. Alright. 1. 2. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. 3. Up, 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 up. Come on. 4. Better angle. 5. Come on, come on, come on. I guess I have to do on the outside, otherwise it just ram it. I think this is, I lost count, but I think this is 7. Come on, come on. Oh, 5 seconds away from doing 8. Very close. Very close, but very far. Because while my flying was not flawless, it wasn't bad either. So I don't know if you actually can do like, all 8. No, we'll try. Again, I'm shooting down my own missiles, which is lame. $75, $74, $73. Well, this is basically a maximum you could probably do, like, is fire off all 24, because after that you have, like, a reload period. So 24 missiles, 24 times 3 is, well, it's 72. 72 times 0.4, something less than 36. It's about 32% damage. Is where you can do solo while still having a 2 EV. You can do more. Probably around 35 if you drop the TV beam for another missile rack. But again, you're not gonna get not even close to being able to get it to 100% in a single pass all by yourself. My estimate is that you need at least 3 of these ships, including 1 with or 2 with torpedoes if I can actually get them all 8, which it seems like I'm not being able, even though I'm getting close here. I wonder if it's awake enough to do it. That is fast. I wonder if I get running start and start kind of like just boosting if I have a better velocity to turn around because I'm already... I'll try that sort of like running start strategy this time around. So I'm gonna stay away from scouts from locking me, which would be nice. It's in orange alert now. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the top side. Did it go green? Turrets are still out, so no. And alright. Now we are in a proper angle. Oh, we need heat sinks. Let's get those heat sinks going. So this way, I'm basically gonna start so that I have the angle right away, so I don't need to waste my time turning around, but I do need to waste more time sort of getting to the next target. But if I am sort of like, if I have a good running start, I might be able to do this. Someone's asking why I'm using the crate over the Mamba for this. No particular reason. I've tried in the Mamba yesterday. Today I'm trying the crate. I'm just trying to try a variety of different builds and and see how they all handle. They all boost at the same velocity, so both those ships can actually boost at the same velocity. The Mamba is actually quite a bit faster unboosted. So maybe it will be easier in the Mamba. I don't know. I haven't tried it at this level, with this kind of level of experience. It is in green alert, I think, right now. The turrets have gone away, as you can see, and the patrols have left. So this is what you want to happen when you're doing this solo in a very small group. Now I hear a sound of the dance. Now I have to time my boost so that I am not gonna overshoot it, but not undershoot it. And if I pass it, I need to kind of like, I'll need to go on to the next one, which is what happened here. Alright, that's open. I think it's actually slower than what I did before. I mean, it's better from an angle perspective. This, I'm scooting, like, skidding too much, so I have to go over, which is fine. Back inside. I boosted at the wrong time here. Is that 7? Tell me it's 7. Tell me that one is the 8th. Tell me that one is the 8th. Ah, man, almost locked. That was like 2 or 3 seconds off of being able to shoot, which means 4 or 5 seconds off of being able to... It's tight. It's really tight. It's gonna be really tight to get them all in a solo config. Even just with 7, like if you fire relatively early, it sounds like you're able to get off almost all your missiles. Like 75, 74, 72. I got them all off. 71. Yeah. 71. I did 29% damage. I think that's the most I've ever done, by the way. Now I got an escort on me, so I gotta lose my tail while hit Tauruses, which is annoying. But I don't really have an option. I gotta boost again. Well, trying to cool myself here. Alright, I think I'm in the clear. Swarm flew through me, which is not good. I don't think I had a particularly better option here. Alright, let's go through. It's firing at me, but I'm very cold right now, so it's probably not going to get a lock. And if I can do some evasive maneuvering here in what I call the armpit of the Titan down here, I think I should be able to lose it. There we go. There's no way he can follow me from there. I've shook my interceptor tail. Now again, I could go back to... I only have... Oof. This has 1 less missile than I would have earlier. I don't know if I want to empty my full clip, just for the sake of our, like, emptying. I might as well, since we're doing experimental runs. Why not? Might actually use them against the turrets, because like, they actually do quite a bit of damage against the turrets. Since they've been shooting at me, I'm getting my revenge. Gotta empty my clip, might as well fire on the turrets. Turrets do increase Titan threat, so you might get a Taurus while doing other things, which is probably not a smart idea. But whatever. It's more fun than just shooting randomly at the hull. I actually got all the way back to where my escort was. I got 2 interceptor tails now. This is where you normally want to go just to hide away, since that thing hasn't locked you, but it now has. I'm way too late for going on a run of events, and I just basically kind of further aggro the Titan, so Just gonna go back to my safe spot for a moment on the other side, see if I can shake the 2 interceptors on my tail. And let things go back to green state. It's actually easier to enter the safe spot from above in this spot. You don't have to do some kind of weird maneuvering. There we go. I did go too far here though, and I think I still have one of the interceptors on me. But let's see. Sada says he prefers clockwise, but having the torps to the outside, I'll attack the radius to them all, which has allowed me to hit all 8 on occasion. You got all 8 with a crate? Multi-cannons, anti-xeno multi-cannons do work against the pineapple, as we call it, the thing below, but not as well as missile racks. Alright. Do we have heat sinks? No. Resupply heat sinks. Something is shooting at me. Alright. I'm not gonna be able to do it again, because I was distracted by getting shot at. Taking damage, my synthesis is failing. I'm kind of like in a weird angle. I'm trying to get down below here to break line of sight and not get shot at, which I think I succeeded at right now. Alright, trying to lose these 2 tails. And actually get my synth off, which I did not. Now I got a scout on me or something. Resulted in missiles. But the thing is, as the instance goes along, you will find more and more scouts sort of like in the instance. Although if you cannot let it... Ooh, ouch, I did not see that asteroid coming. But we are... I think we're in generally good. It's orange alert. Where are the escorts? Down below. Pretty far. Let's keep them there. Let's wait it. Now this is orange alert. Let's wait until it goes back to green alert and let it recall its patrols and send them away. And the turrets while they are at it. Again, my turrets, my models are in pretty good shape. Yeah, the thing about VR is you can actually look one way and shoot. Like it's like look one way and shoot while you're moving the other way. That does help, I agree. Missiles, the serious anti-xeno missile racks are at the same time the highest DPS because they have high rate of fire, even though they have lower damage than the enhanced missiles. But the biggest advantage of the serious missile racks is that they have high capacity, so they have twice the ammo of the enhanced missile racks. So the damage per dive, which is really the key metric, especially when you're 3,000 light seconds away from a drop point, is much higher with the anti-xeno missile racks, which is at least the metric I personally care about more than damage per run. Damage per run is whatever. If you do 25 or 27, it doesn't matter that much if you have to go rearm, you know, every 5 minutes, and it takes you 15 minutes to get back to a Titan. What you should be optimizing is for how much damage you can do when you're here, which is what the serious missile racks excel at. Now, I think I heard them go in, but Titan is still not in green state. Well, now it is. So now the turrets should be despawning if the status change is correct. And the patrol should be recalled. I have my full heat sinks. So Sawdust was saying that he prefers clockwise. Okay, let's try clockwise. Let's try clockwise with with running, not a running start, with an in-between start. In-between start being here, essentially firing at the first thing, turning, and then firing at the next one. I'll do it this way though, so I can actually then pitch straight up, which is faster, and I don't have to waste time rolling. Turrets are in. Cool myself off. I know it'll go into red alert, but I don't care. Alright, ready to go. Let's see how many we get. Alright. 2. That was a good start. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. If I get it, this is the time I get it. This is the time I get it. 8. Oh, man. It did. I did get the shot, but it blew right on the outside. But this is the best I've done. So, Sawdust, you're right. Clockwise maybe is better. Alright, let's see if I can get all 24 off. And actually hit it. A bit short. I don't know if it is a random component as to like how long it stays open or not. Because like that felt like a relatively short time for seven vents to have been popped. Get me out of the annoying zone. Alright, now I have a swarm on me, so I have a swarm over me, which agitates the swarm, which means trouble. And there's an interceptor there, but it's pretty far. I got evasive maneuvers here. See if we can try the running start, see if the running start is faster than the turnaround start. I doubt it though. I sincerely doubt it. Unless you can start from a relatively wide angle and you get the timing right. I mean, all I need I think is 2 seconds at this point to get 8 out of 8 in the ship. But I need to stay lower if I do it that way. And I need heat sinks by the way while I'm at it. Alright. Torps are in place. Still no sound. Alright, vents are coming open, cooling off. Alright, let's get some speed once we get the right angle. Alright, we have the angle, but the timing is not right. I don't know if that was a hit or not. Oh, what the hell? I'm firing missiles into that's an abort. I completely screwed that one up. Too focused on other things to figure what was actually going on. Alright, let's get to a safe spot. That's 048. Embarrassing 048. I don't think I even need to get to a safe spot. I think I can just... Where is the patrol down there? It's pretty far. Oh, it's like 10 kilometers away. I'm gonna hide right here. Hide in plain sight. Good thing about being cold. Modules are still in tip-top shape. It's a good question, Arthur. I wasn't really... I mean, with the map, I haven't really tried to do this, what I'm doing here right now. Not in any serious way. The thing about the Mamba is, it's actually... It boosts to the same velocity of a crate, but it's a lot faster. It's almost like 100 meters per second faster in unboosted. So, I don't know if that will make a difference. That'll be interesting to see. I'll try it. I'll try it next time around. Alright, now the vents are coming open. Let's go back to torps, cool off. Get my pips set up right. Alright. Start boosting to get some velocity. Alright, we got velocity, see if we can get the angle too. Got a good angle. Alright. One. It's slower to get the second one, but then you're right in position to get the third. So chances are it might work better. 3. Whoa! I tried to dodge it, but I did not manage that one. Alright. That is a fail. It'll still come up. I had to empty my clip anyway. One of the other things I didn't realize, I've been shooting missiles at the vents, but I did not empty my clip as a result earlier. So might as well empty the clip at the pineapple when it comes up now. It'll still come up, even if you get... I'm not going to be able to land 21 missiles on it anyway, so I'm kind of like... Oh, it's turret's going in. Right. For some reason the turrets go in when the pineapple goes out, the ones that are right next to it. You can target it from when it's down here, and then when you see it come up, you can fire the missiles, and if you get the timing right, which I did right now, you can basically hit it this way. See, that was not a lot of damage. Although it did kind of do some weird smoke that I don't see very frequently. My limpet is done. I'm trying to get myself in out of Taurus firing position, which I think I managed. I'm super cold. There's no patrols locked on me. I'll stop firing. Actually, I want to fire my missiles away so I can clear it while I'm at it. And while it's still Taurusing away. Missiles empty, clip reloaded. Now it's obviously in super red alert because I've been poking it way too much. We have true synthesizer and heat sinks again, if we want to do it without getting fired upon and distracted. I mean, the fire is mostly annoying. It doesn't actually do damage that you care about, but it is distracting to try and do this on a speedrun basis and get fired upon, so that's why I'm using heat sinks. I do want to try it. I'm gonna try it on, like, again. See if I can do it on a boosted way this way, so I can see, like, the angle. Yeah, the angle is good. The problem is there's this spike in the middle, so if I boost up, I might kind of end up hitting it. We'll try. We'll see how it goes. Are we all good to go here? Yeah, we have 19 torps and 64 missile racks, which is a good mix. It means I have another 3 attempts before I'm all dry. Fish is saying swap the torp to the other side since you're used to counterclockwise. Big takeaway is torp on the outside edge of your ship. That's a very smart thing to say. Where the hell is my torp? I don't even know where my torp is. Which side are you, torp on? Oh wait, there's a chance to actually have a look at the hard point, because I haven't looked at it. The beam is on the inside, and the torp is on the outside. So we're good. Alright, vents are coming open. Get a little bit further behind, closer to the center of them all. Cool off. And we're ready to go. Come on. 1. Good first 2. Good 3. Good 4. Good 5. Good 6. Good 7. Come on, come on, come on. This is as close to flawless as I'm gonna get. Whoa. It closed very fast. So I did something wrong on kind of setup, or it was a shorter. No, it's always 40 seconds of me. I must have done something slower at the startup. Oof. Use my last heatsink so I don't blow up my missile while I'm at it. Galaxy map, the progress on this Titan. Well, made a decent dent. It looks like 5% or so. Well, not just me, obviously, like the whole combined forces of humanity. So, patrol over there, so we're gonna go this direction instead. Again, military power, synthesize heat sinks. I have enough to try one more time, and then I'm effectively all dry for the sake of this exercise, and that will be it. So the turnaround little example didn't work. So I think we should try the start on a boost. Start boosted, start getting a rolling start. See if we can get a little closer. Again, as far as a standstill start in between goes, the previous one was as flawless flying as I've ever done. So if that didn't work, and that was short, like at least 5 seconds, that's just not going to work as a strategy. Repairs are not required. Obviously, if I keep going around, I kind of like got the attention of a patrol, which is fine. I have 12 torps. Now the good thing is, the number of missile racks and the number of torpedoes almost exactly matches with a medium torp. So, alright. I hear them starting to open. Alright, let's get boosting. Let's get beaming. Let's get a little wide angle out this. Get lower, way too high. Alright, there we go. I am way behind where I need to be. Which means I'm gonna be super late on my second one. That's like the 3 seconds I would need to kind of like make it work. curious at this point to see how low this thing can go, to see, because I think this is toolkit, so it'll track even if I move all the way out. Oh, that's a good sort of like strategy. Like it fires even if you're like way pulled up, which is totally desirable, like in this case. Oh wow, this is gonna save a lot of time now that I kind of figured out you can do it this way. Ah, I forgot to target this one. I could have gotten 8, even though I had such a slow start. Okay, I think I figured out the strategy to do it. I might come back in the Mamba and do it in Mamba, for the sake of argument. But I figured out the strategy to do it. Very cool. Oh no, there's like a spike in the right in front of it. Hitting the spike. Bad angle. Alright, that's it. Now this is the point where I would normally self-destruct, as it's way faster to go back, but I do want to get the cartographic data sold on my carrier so I don't have to get the scan each and every time. Where's the bossy? Oh, there it is. Ouch, this is gonna hurt. That's when you kind of like not paying attention and looking at your galaxy map while you're going places. So now we sort of like store, well, we don't need to, shouldn't store because we're gonna need to fire caustic sinks. What we will do is return our French drive on again, just that we're gonna need to get out of here. So the fastest way, and by the way, I might as well use some of those repair implements they haven't. The fastest way out of here is to turn flight assist off, and once we get to the pulse wave, just surf the pulse wave out. And now kind of like looking around, but like until you are at the pulse wave, you should look at where you're going, not be like me and be completely lost, especially with flight assist off, because the so-called tidal forces will jerk your ship around and kind of lose control. And there we are. But you joke about the adder, but it's actually easier to do this in an adder than it is to do it in a Mamba or crate. The adder is faster and more maneuverable than these ships, so it's actually easier to do it in the adder than in the ships. But I think again, with the thing that you can actually let the turret do its thing and point downwards, that will save the 3 seconds that I need to save to be able to do this with this ship. So I think I have the strategy to do it. Now I just need to do it. That's right. That's what I have here as far as the... Oh, I'm probably going to hit a mine there. Or be lucky and not hit it. But again, I'm in flight assist. I did hit the mine. Now I'm completely bonked by the... That is a very fast way to get out of here. And to get also like horrific nausea as part of the process. Thrusters are online. Turn flight assist on, so like our nausea is kind of diminished. And then we'll turn it off again while we're still going 1400 meters per second. Alright, now we should be able to jump because our fringe drive is online. While moving at 1400 meters per second, which is nice. Thanks, Fish and Sawdust, by the way, for the suggestions. They were good stuff. Now, where is my carrier? I don't even know where it is. 1300 light seconds away. It's the closest we could get in an inhabited system. As to a question from Oops, no. To the best of my knowledge, you don't need to do 100% damage to a core to affect their overarching hit point. Like, all damage you do counts. It's actually scored. You can see it from the credits that you receive from participating in damage dealing. Did Sawdust mention that saw angle? Was it him? Well, he mentioned the VR thing to see. I mean, this I just kind of like this like I realized based on the failed run, which I was late, so I was like, I might as well try something. I kind of just forgot that I saw that when I kind of was like pitching up, it was still kind of going on target and it was still firing. And torpedoes do not fire without a lock, which means they were still locked. And then it dawned on me and saying, wait a minute, these modules are actually turreted. See? Like they should say somewhere here. But they are turreted. Doesn't say here, it'll say it in the outfitting window when we land. And since they are turreted, and since they are mounted on the bottom side of the crate, right next to your cockpit to the left, they can basically track almost behind you. They can probably track 270 degrees behind you. So even if you overtake the vent, you should still be able to fire backwards and hit the vent. So that's actually some sort of simple realization that kind of just dawned on me, and was like, all you need to do is target the vent and then boost away and wait until the lock finishes and fire blindly. You don't need to stare at the vent while you're firing. The turret is locked. So long as you're not targeting something else, it will hit. So I might go for another little practice run later tonight, see if I can do this. It was actually a nice little run. And I might actually swap back to the proper bomber configuration, as I don't really need a beam to do this. I'm like using heat sinks. Start using heat sinks when boosting, and that's all you need. And even if you get shot while you're down below, it doesn't make all that big of a difference, no matter. And you do more damage. Even though, again, the medium runs out of ammo a lot faster than everything else. So in terms of overall damage per dive, it does not make that big of a difference. But it does make for a difference on a single exert. So the reason I did all of this, come all the way back, is because I wanted to land my universal counter graphics data. So I'm going to do that before I do anything else. I forget. And then put my limpets back in, because otherwise I'm going to forget that also for sure. Like, general best practice. Load your limpets when you land, not when you take off. Because, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. And with that, commanders, 07, glory to mankind. We'll keep our little experiments going, and we'll keep the fight on and the pressure on to our next target, Titan Leigong.